Last week, Disney Plus dropped the first 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again, and I watched them both back to back, and I thought about it for a couple days. I was going to do my review pretty quickly because I wanted to keep up with the rest of the world of movie reviewers. I didn't want to be too late and then no one watched it, but I really wanted to think about it because I had some pretty strong emotions after watching those first 2 episodes, and I think I've been able to get all my thoughts in order and really explain to you how I felt about this show. Now, a couple years ago when they first announced that this was coming out, it was originally going to be like a 20 or 30 episode TV show, and it was going to have nothing to do with Daredevil from the Netflix series. It was going to be the same actor, but a multiversal version where, yes, it's the same actor playing him, but this Daredevil went through his own stuff. It's not the same stuff from Netflix. And after filming the first like 10 or 15 episodes, Kevin Feige kind of came in and was like, this is ass. We need to cancel this. And look, we already have this built-in fan base of people that absolutely love the Netflix show. Let's just continue it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's essentially what they did. They just gave us a continuation of that Daredevil, and we kind of pick up right where they leave off. So right off the jump, I'm going to sit here and tell you, I liked it. In a thumbs up or thumbs down world, I give this show a thumbs up. It has a fresh Rotten Tomatoes from me. But I did have some problems with it, and it was initially hard for me to digest because it did feel a lot different. Maybe not so much in tone, but in what they were presenting us from Daredevil himself. And I'll start off with the fact that, look, in the Netflix show, Daredevil was very grounded. He didn't have like super agilities, superpowers. He was kind of just a guy that was blind and was able to use this like echolocation that he kind of formed after that accident he got in to help aid him in fighting crime in Hell's Kitchen. But here he straight up has like magical powers where he's literally defying the laws of physics in the way he moves, the way he jumps up buildings, down buildings, somersaults all over the place. They have him using his like grappling batons now to like swing around like he's Batman. And I just think it all looks so goofy, and maybe it would be better if it was like better CGI, but this is a TV show, so it's not getting Captain America Winter Soldier budget. It's getting a TV budget. It just looks goofy. It doesn't look good. I commend the creators for wanting to do a one-take fight scene in the very first episode of this between Daredevil and Bullseye, because those were the highlights of the Netflix shows for me. Anytime you got to that episode where there was that one-take fight scene throughout the hallway, I was in love watching that stuff, and I was excited to see that they wanted to attempt that here and give us, the fans of the Netflix show, more of that. But it was done really bad, and it was done predominantly with CGI, and it's just lazy and it's ugly. I know that they're not actually there doing it, and then when they are there, the extras that they had in the background, you could see that like a lot of the time while things were going on, they were just sitting there waiting for their mark. Nothing was fluid about that fight scene to me. I noticed all of the extras on the sides kind of just waiting to like jump into frame. I noticed that the battle itself was predominantly CGI. Like, you're not actually watching people fight. You're just watching like a PlayStation 2 cutscene, and I thought it was lazy, uninspired, and ugly. And it's like, if you're gonna do it, just take the fucking time and sit there and train for 6 months to have this awesome one-take fight scene inside of a restaurant, then through a hallway, up a flight of stairs, and onto a roof. Netflix would have actually filmed that, and here, again, they just took the lazy, uninspired approach. So initially, starting off the bat with this show, I didn't like it. I'm watching that, I'm like, oh, they kind of ruined this. But then the show saves itself after that, because then it gets into the heart of the story, and that's when it started to feel very much so in line with the stuff that we were getting on Netflix. This show is very serious. It takes the lawyer aspect of Matt Murdock very seriously, and you see that he wants to be a good lawyer. So you do get a lot more of that this time around, where he is going in and out of court cases and talking to people that are being wrongfully accused of things. And on that aspect, I really like it. Now, where again, the show takes a shift from me that I didn't like is the thing I hate the absolute fucking most in all superhero things, and I don't care how much the story justifies it, I don't care how much you like it, I don't care how much Kevin Feige, the God Emperor Supreme of Marvel, likes it. The reluctant hero is a fucking awful superhero trope. I hate it. I hate when Batman in The Dark Knight Rises decides he doesn't want to be Batman anymore. I hate when Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2 decides he no longer wants to be Spider-Man anymore, and I get it. He's struggling, having a normal life, being Spider-Man, being a boyfriend, being a son, being a nephew, working at the Daily Bugle, and all this stuff, and it's a lot for him, but I don't really care. I just don't like it. I don't like when superheroes are like, we're done being a superhero. I'm so fucking sick of that trope, and I hate when people do it, and I just think it's lazy. It's just a lazy way to get out of having to do any cool superhero shit. Maybe they did it for budgetary reasons, to have a couple episodes where Matt's just being Matt, and they don't need to green screen everything, and they could have it kind of grounded, and I I just absolutely fucking hate it. If he doesn't don the suit by the end of episode 3, I'm gonna be really upset, because at the end of the day, I go to a steakhouse for steak. I go to the beach to go in the water. I show up to a Batman movie because I want to see Batman. I want the cape, the cowl, the stupid ears, the utility belt. I show up to Iron Man 3 because I want to see fucking Iron Man blasting fools out of the sky with his hand cannons, or whatever the hell you call those things. I don't want to stare at Tony Stark for 2 hours. I do not want to watch Matt Murdock solve cases in court for the next 5 hours of this show. I want to see him as the devil in his costume, beating the pulp out of bad guys and Wilson Fisk. That is what I'm showing up to a Daredevil show to watch. I don't want to see Matt Murdock, the lawyer, the show. I want to see Daredevil. I want to see his fucking costume. So again, I did say in the beginning of this that I like the show, and that's because the storytelling that they are telling here is so good that I am willing to forgive the fact that they decided to make him do the ridiculous, overused, lazy, uninspired, reluctant hero trope. But it seems that by the end of episode 2, he's finally going to get back to it. So hopefully by the end of episode 3, they get into it. But that being said, that out of the way, the fact that I hate that trope, overall, the storytelling that they're doing here is incredible. I mean, Wilson Fisk goes from being this really, really, really bad guy to wanting to run for mayor for the city because he truly believes in his heart of heart that he can make a difference given his background and his experiences. And I love the scene in the diner with Matt where he's like, look, if you say that you're a changed man, I believe you. But if you step out of line, I'll be there. I thought that was really powerful, and that the heart of the show between Matt and Wilson Fisk is what's carrying this show across the finish line for me. I think that Wilson Fisk, the guy that plays him, his name is escaping me right now, but he is such an incredible actor, and he was born to play this role. Don't get me wrong. I think that Thanos is one of the best MCU villains we've ever had, next to Loki and Killmonger. But Wilson Fisk, chef's kiss. He really is such a terrifying villain because he is human. He is very grounded in our world. He is not this alien from space. He is the guy next door that we all know. And the fact that he isn't a more predominant villain across the entirety of the MCU is a total shame, but who knows? Maybe he will be after the events of this show. All I know is I'm really excited to see where this show goes because, as we all know, if you've watched it and you've finished episode 2, Wilson Fisk, yes, maybe a changed man, but he's still resorting to some old school ways of getting people to do what he wants, and it's good to see that he still has that edge in him and he hasn't gotten totally soft. And I really like all the other characters. I like the new love interest they set up for Matt. The Punisher is coming back, so who's not going to get excited about that? And Muse, the villain of this show, is such a badass in the comics. He is so gnarly and violent and just hateful that I'm really excited to see that brought to life in live action, and I'm excited to see Matt Murdock and him throw down. So overall, at the end of the day, I liked this show. I just really wish they didn't do this stupid trope of the reluctant hero not wanting to be the hero anymore. I hope that superhero movies never do that ever again. You have a responsibility. You have a gift that 99% of the planet doesn't have. Shut the fuck up, put the costume on, and entertain me and the rest of the fans. I don't care about your crybaby bullshit. Not here to see Matt Murdock on a date. I'm here to see Matt Murdock in his costume beating the shit out of people. And maybe that is a super unpopular opinion. I know a lot of people that love Iron Man 3. I know a lot of people that love The Dark Knight Rises. I know a lot of people that love that portion of Spider-Man 2 where he gives up the costume and him kind of finding himself again. I mean, arguably one of the best moments of that movie is when Aunt May gives him the speech about how everybody needs a hero. One of my favorite parts of the movie. But yeah, I really don't like it. I'm in the minority there. I get it. But all art is subjective, and this is just how I view it in the superhero genre. I want to see the costumes, not the man or the woman underneath.